ITV News for the Central Region. Good evening. A prisoner who absconded from HMP Hewell near Redditch has been found by police in Ulster 10 days after he went missing. 56-year-old Alan Giles was arrested after a call from a member of the public who it's believed had spotted him just after 6 o'clock this evening. Giles was taken into custody in Redditch. A British soldier killed in a suicide blast while on patrol in Afghanistan has been named as Warrant Officer Ian Michael Fisher from the 3rd Battalion, the Mercian Regiment. The 42-year-old studied at Staffordshire University before joining the Territorial Army in Stoke-on-Trent and later the Mercian Regiment. He was killed yesterday in Helmand Province on the final day of an operation to disrupt insurgent activity. A man from Worcestershire has been sentenced for at least 17 years behind bars after being found guilty of killing his wife and then trying to make it look like a tragic accident. The court heard how Alan Evans threw his wife, Louise, down a staircase and smothered her after she found out about his affair. A judge described the murder as a callous and deliberate killing. Victoria Davis reports.
7 years ago, ITV News Central filmed Alan and Louise Evans celebrating the birth of their twins through IVF.
Absolutely fantastic, yeah, brilliant, so proud of them.
Then they appeared to be the perfect family. But today Alan Evans was unanimously found guilty of murdering his wife Louise after she found out about her husband's affair with this woman, married teaching assistant Amanda Chadwick. The body of Louise Evans was found at the foot of the stairs of their home in Kidderminster last July. Evans had claimed she tripped and fallen and that he'd been asleep in the lounge when it had happened. But the judge ruled that Evans had punched his wife 4 times before throwing her down the stairs and then smothering her. Passing sentence, the judge condemned the 35-year-old for using a skipping rope and a vacuum cleaner as props in what he said was a grotesque attempt to pass the killing off as an accident.
Bringing up our granddaughters means we are reminded of Louise every day. But it's heartbreaking taking them to visit their mother's grave, knowing that Louise, who was a brilliant mum, has been deprived of bringing them up and should be here to look after them. And as pleased as we are with the outcome today, nothing can ever make up for that loss.
Alan Evans has proved to be a manipulative character. While nothing can bring back their daughter, we hope that they can take some small measure of comfort in the knowledge that Evans did not get away with it and has paid a heavy price for his crime.
Today, Evans was sentenced to a minimum of 17 years behind bars, but his children now face a lifetime without a mother. Victoria Davis, ITV News.
The mother of a 4-year-old girl who was mauled to death by the family dog has described her as a bubbly, bright little girl. Lexi Branson died at her home in Mount Sorrel in Leicestershire after the attack by the bulldog yesterday afternoon. Her mother stabbed the animal as she tried to save her daughter. In a statement, Lexi's family said she'll be our shining star in the sky and will never be forgotten. Neighbours and her head teacher have also paid tribute.
I haven't slept since I found out. I did devastate. I don't know how to explain it to my daughter.
Lexi's just a sweet little girl, smiling, laughing, talking, joking, and that's how she would always be.
The whole of our school community has been devastated and saddened by this news. The school is one big family, and we're all in our different ways feeling the loss of one of our members of our family.
The Shropshire Conservative MP Mark Pritchard is refuting allegations in a national newspaper that he was willing to exploit foreign contacts for his own financial gain. The Wrekin MP was recorded offering to arrange property deals in Albania by an undercover reporter posing as a businessman. He's denied any wrongdoing. Our political correspondent Alison McKenty reports.
MPs often travel abroad. They're part of what's known as all-party parliamentary groups to further British interests. But the allegation in the Daily Telegraph is that Mark Pritchard was keen to further his own financial interests. They filmed him in several locations, and this was an exchange which they say proves he was seeking to make money out of a hotel property deal.
We contract 3% of the gross amount for the introduction on the signing contract. So let's say you're doing a hotel for 3 million, or let's say 5 million, it'd be 3% of 5 million on the signing of the contract, getting it all done.
He goes on to say he believes it's a reasonable deal. Well, Mark Pritchard has denied any wrongdoing. In a statement to me tonight, he says, "I deny their claims. They have selected quotes out of context to fit their desired story. I am consulting libel lawyers." Well, what of the reaction tonight in his constituency? We spoke to Nigel Dugmore, the chair of the Wrekin Conservatives.
There have been allegations made that he's a bit of a part-time MP, but when I walk down the high street with him, he's people are coming here, there and everywhere, and everybody knows him. So he does have a high profile in the constituency, and you know, he's not afraid to speak his mind.
That's been made plain in the House of Commons. Here's an exchange where Mark Pritchard was explaining his anger at feeling pressurised.
I may just be a little council house lad from a very poor background, but that background gives me a backbone, it gives me a thick skin, and I'm not going to be kowtowed by the whips or even the Prime Minister of my country on an issue that I feel passionately about, that I have conviction about.
So it's now in the hands of the investigating authorities. We'll wait to hear what happens next.
Alison McKenzie. The weather's next with Lucy Veraswamy.
It could be cool in Birmingham, but somewhere in the world, the sun is shining. ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
A very good evening to you. Well, after such a miserable and wet end to the day, a slow improvement overnight, drier and clearer conditions developing across the region. Temperatures falling away. In fact, a chance of a hint of frost around the likes of Shropshire and Herefordshire come dawn. So despite a chilly start tomorrow morning, especially for early risers, the compensation will be brighter skies. Some lovely spells of sparkly sunshine, so much better than it was today, and with just a light breeze, feeling quite pleasant, I should think. Temperatures really where you'd expect for the time of year for all of us. Have a good night.
ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
And that's it from the Central Newsroom. Have a peaceful night. Good night.